May I just seek your view on the indices first, right? XLV and XBI. Yeah.
You can see the screen, right?
Yes, I can see it now.
Okay, just checking. All right. Sorry, I was looking at the biotech ETF, so maybe you have a look at that
Yes, yes. This is
to
helpful.
start off with. Remember the green line is your US
10
bond
year.
prices.
Yeah. Oh, the bond price. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so basically bond prices, yields have been rising, prices falling. But if you look at the
XBI is
biotech
holding.
ETF, you're still holding up, which is
Yeah.
quite interesting because what I'm going to do now is just jump across to XLV. And XLV,
Getting
both
hammered.
both
Yeah.
relative to the S&P. So remember, this is relative, and in absolute terms, closed below trend support of the April
Oh
lows.
my goodness. Yeah.
So this doesn't break the bullish breakout that you saw January when you came out of this big trading range. But obviously, in the near term, it does look like it goes back to the 200-day and the upper boundary of this range.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, with the recent hesitation, it's quite interesting that healthcare is getting sold off and you're getting relative underperformance. I mean, the only sort of reason I can highlight to you this chart here, it does look like what the market's doing and has done for the month of October
Yeah.
is price in or run ahead of what worked when Trump got voted in 2016. So this yellow line here is Bitcoin. This one here. So this is 2016 performance. This line here is performance month to date, basically. So Bitcoin leading. The second best performing sort of asset here was Russell 2000, and that's Russell 2000. So it's interesting. So the semiconductor index actually underperformed in the election for Trump's, and it's underperforming now. So there does seem to be a bit of front running in the 2016 playbook ahead of the election.
If I were to add something, right, because I look at a Goldman Strategist piece, and in the most recent week, they're talking about big rotation to cyclicals from defensives. Obviously, defensives being XLV, right? And they particularly they didn't use the SPX, they used the XLK, right? And the underperformance was tremendous, right? And
well, I mean,
it was hitting a bottom.
That trade's been gain on for a bit. I mean, I'll just show you that this is cyclicals versus defensives in the US, and that's the navy line. So let me just try and zoom in for you.
Yeah.
You can see that actually broke out in September and has continued into October. But
so what line is this? The green line is the SPX, but the blue line is cyclical over defensive, is it?
Yes. Yep.
Ah, okay. Right, exactly. It's
so that
big plunge.
That play has been going on, and just to take this back a step, discretionary has been outperforming staples. That's this blue line here. High beta has started to outperform low volatility, which again is this rising blue line. And investment grade bonds have been outperforming treasury, which is again this line here, which is essentially why you're seeing credit spreads continuing to narrow.
Got it.
But part of this, I mean, the interesting point is, what's potentially different, why credit spreads are narrowing here. It's the best explanation I've heard from a client is, corporate balance sheets have been managed in a far better manner than government balance sheets.
Yes. And Trump comes on and even more profligate spending.
Well, it doesn't matter which
party
kind of gets you're going to spend money, right? I guess the problem, or not the problem, if you're sitting in the US, but the problem for the rest of the world is Trump comes in and you get a red sweep is, the likelihood of policies from tariffs to, make him, bring everything back home to the US is, it creates and increases inflation, which is not great for emerging markets.
So I think there's two reasons for the US 10-year going up, I see. So more profligate spending and of course inflation, right? Then back to the XBI, what does it say? As in, why isn't it breaking down? Is it a short here? Is it a better hedge than XLV? That's the prime question.
I have no evidence, and if we're going to go on the evidence of Trump coming in,
Oh no, what I meant is just the green line, right? I've seen the 10-year yield go up. And then that's reflected in the yen. Isn't the XBI supposed to collapse?
well,
Not showing any sign of that until very recently. Yeah.
let's just go back. Trump coming in, XBI increased despite bond prices coming down, right?
Oh, okay.
So, this is the prior elections, and the run up into 2017 was XBI then rallying while yields had fallen down. I mean, yields started to decline by March, and that helped the XBR trend. So, I mean, I just sort of be careful. These relationships are nice to know, but these correlations break down and can break down for an extended period of time.
The reason I'm asking is because last time around, right, when we did the US 10-year percentage, right, there was a level beyond where it's breached, and then suddenly people wake up to the. I'm just trying to revisit where that level is.
I'll show you. It's 4.35, and I'll show you. I sent this to our UK sales guys.
That's awesome.
Hong Kong desk this morning. Give me a sec. So this chart here, obviously this is Fed funds rate, the stair-step chart.
Yeah. That's right.
The navy chart is the 10-year yield. The green line is the S&P. This red moving average is the 50-day. But basically the dashed line here is the 10-year yield gain from the 2022 highs, the 23 highs, and then your March highs. That's at 4.35. And the point is, when you broke above this, the market continued to trade lower. Look, the market had peaked in August, right?
Yes.
But as far as getting
a new leg down.
Yeah, a new leg down. And, we fast forward to April, May of this year, you had a 7% correction in the S&P. Again, that was the break above 4.35. So that's the level, 4.35. And we're currently sitting at 4.20.
That's super helpful. And no, if you could, can you just forward me this email as well when you have a chance, right? So I can just roll through it. Yeah. I'll just forward or reply all on Dexter. Yeah. Okay, that's cool. Then the other small question, right? You had this chart of the last 10 elections or last election averages. There was a rally, and then before the election, and then there was a like a pullback, right? I know there's only 3 weeks left to the election. Is this what's happening now? Do you have that chart?
Yep, I'll show you that now.
That was in your report, right? I remember. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been in it, but this is basically the chart you're talking about. This is typically the volatility running into the elections.
Can you just tell me about the lines again?
So the dashed line is the actual election year.
And this is all the election cycles, or several of them added together, right?
So this is the average of all US elections going back to 1928 on the S&P data.
Oh my goodness, way more. Okay, and then the timing is around the same, right? So where are we now?
Yeah, so I mean, basically, we're heading towards the end of October, where you get this peak and decline into the elections.
And then a further rally.
And then another sort of bit of volatility. But to me, not to be too cute on this, is that while you get declines, you typically make higher lows, right? So the meaning here, we're not going back to the August lows.
Oh, right.
We should be, holding around 5,500 or 5,400.
Yeah.
So I mean, you could get a combination into the elections. Let's say the yields do pop up above 4.35. The S&P corrects between 5 to 9%.
Yes.
That puts you back towards, 5,500, 5,400. And then you start to improve from there. So basically, you pull back to this kind of level.
Yeah. Okay. Got it. Then before we go into the tickets, right, I just want to finish the question on the XLV. So what does last night's close below the up channel mean? Is this observe a little bit more? Could be a sell, right? Or it could wipe out.
I mean, to me, both in absolute terms, that's a breakdown. And in relative terms, that's a breakdown, which is different to XBI. So if you're trying to hedge your positioning,
XLV is the better one. Yeah.
XLV is the one that's weak, right?
and I'm going to come to the tickers to explain what the heck happened, right? Because the components inside got sold, some with reason, some without, and it was
Yep.
just bizarre. Okay, I see, I see. That's very helpful. Cool. Can we go to some US or priority tickets, right? I'll start with UNH, right? UNH, ELV, so on these are the ones that caused the problem.
Well, so UNH, the positive here is that you can
Yeah.
see the upper boundary of the trading range going back to 22. That's what you tested, and you bounced off that.
I should have asked you that night itself if
Well, I
you
mean,
were online.
there wasn't divergence, right? So again, the only thing I would have highlighted to you, you can manufacture a trade in that, if you close back
Yes.
below 548, you want to close out the position. But the fact that you tested it and you have held, does suggest that the market is
Oh no, this
respecting
this
that.
this this chap, right? This name never needed a divergence. Yeah, now fans. The last few times
Right.
it gapped down, it
Yeah.
comes back intraday.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize you could do it in a single day. So that was
Yeah.
my bad. Okay, so
I mean,
this is positive, right?
there's
Yeah.
potential that, you're fading below the 50 that you could come back to retest, but, that potentially then does set up a divergence. The point here is
Oh,
you're holding above the 548, 550 area. So old resistance is clearly support and is being respected.
and is the 680 target still valid?
Yes,
It is.
because you maintained the breakout, you maintained the higher
Above.
level,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Okay, got it. This is helpful. ELV. Yeah, these are in fact the four of them in a row. Yeah. Wow, this one's the exact opposite.
Yeah, I mean, so remember this one tried to break out at a similar time in August and totally failed.
Yeah,
And not uncommon for the failed breakout to go down to the lower boundary. I mean,
which
the
is
interest,
today. Yeah. Is it forming a
yeah.
divergence, you think? Yeah, or I shouldn't
So,
jump
so
it, right?
remember, well, no, so let's just do this. Remember, sorry, I'm just going
Yeah, I'm
to,
just going to mute myself to reduce the background noise. Yeah.
right. So remember, it's calculated on closing level. So if we track this, the RSI was making 21, and it is marginally higher here.
Mm,
So I mean, it is essentially make or break that
tonight.
this
Yeah.
level here at 407 essentially holds and maintains this marginally higher RSI. So yeah, to me, this setup here wouldn't be pushing on the short. And in fact, if you do get
Looking to buy.
another intraday
Yeah.
reversal, I mean, yesterday, did open up lower, closed towards the highs of the session, even though it was down on the previous day's trade, the intraday move was off the lows, right?
Yes, that's awesome. Great. And then it's all related, right? HUM right beside it, in between the two tickers. Yeah.
Yes.
This one is a Trump winner. That's the funny thing.
Well, this is a difficult one in that there is no divergence, right? Even if we looked at a daily chart, we're not going to get it. You had the spark low, you've had this rebound. That's the COVID lows, the lows that you made in April 19, and that's the intraday low. So obviously 215 has become some kind of significant support or valuation level that the stock's respected. You have closed this gap that you had on the downside.
Lost. Yeah.
Obviously, this was, again, another intraday reversal of that 215, so key support here. Could this continue the recovery back to 298? Yes. Is it high conviction? No.
Can I ask one thing, right?
Yep.
If you see another 215, considering that it bounced this much, is 215 first of all, the first 215, was there any reason to buy the dip?
So the only reason would have been the intraday reversal off the lows, right?
Yes.
So what I've just done now is, your upside to resistance is 13%, your downside, let's say back to 215 is 17%.
17%, yeah.
So yeah, to me, UNH looks more interesting, closer to support. So does probably the most interesting one for today would be ELV,
Yes.
assuming that's well, you're so close to support and you've got the potential for a divergence, right?
Yeah, you know the funny thing is why am I even bothering about this junk here, right? A, it's a pure play Trump winner, right? It's got
Right.
killed under Biden. And
Yep.
ELV doesn't have that. That's the strange thing. So anyway, I just need to know the levels, right? I'll ask you again if let's say things trade better on HUM. And then since we're here, right, can we take a look at MCK as well? Three taps to the right.
I mean, yes, it's broken out of the downtrend, but it hasn't taken back the 50-day, hasn't taken back the 200-day. You don't have a divergence at these lows here. So, yeah, really to improve the outlook, at least moving above the 50-day, but you can see how the intraday highs on the 15th of October, 15th of September sort of line up at 526 as resistance.
Okay, got it. That's helpful. Cool. And then since we're here in the US, right, we start with different. Can we look at MRK and REGN? Yeah, I'll just mute myself. Yeah.
So Regeneron, the one thing that I would highlight is obviously the intraday reversal yesterday where we opened up low, but we closed towards the highs of the session. And just to, reinforce that view, if we can get further follow through today, you will get a higher RSI. But to confirm that higher RSI, we do need to see price move higher today. So for me, I'd be more inclined to be bottom fishing buy in Regeneron here or covering shorts. If you have
is
been
that
short
a divergence? That was my.
Like I was saying, you are currently, the RSI is higher than it was here in October. What is critical now to confirm and reinforce this is that we do trade higher today.
Yes.
But, so to trade higher today, reinforces this big intraday reversal yesterday.
This is awesome.
So while you're not going to be buying this one, anywhere near the intraday lows, today buying it around 980, confirming that you've moved higher would be constructive.
Okay, very helpful. Oh, they had a ruling against them by none other than the guy beside it, Amgen. But can we look at Amgen as well? Because just left of the current tab at the bottom.
Yeah, so this hasn't really sort of budged from the trading range, right? 200-day lower boundary, 305 support. Again, intraday reversal from yesterday's price action and obviously top of the range there at 340.
Okay, nothing there. All right. Merck, MRK. And this one I have to hand it to you, man. It really hit your level. This is crazy. MRK. I didn't think 106 was achievable.
So so that's the downside target from this topping pattern, right?
Met already, right?
Yeah. But
it looks like no divergence. Yeah.
No, there is divergence, right?
How to see that? Oh, slightly above, yeah.
Well, so there's two, right? There's, that was the high momentum, the bounce back to the 50-day. This low, again, RSI was marginally higher than the lows here on the initial breakdown. And then you've got a secondary divergence.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, this is a level
this is looking good. Yeah.
Cover short and look for a nibble from the long side.
The problem is their earnings, there's a lot of China elements in it, and it doesn't look that good.
But surely that's why this has declined, right? I mean, I would just sort of give you, if I look at, just to show you these names that have done the same thing, China, and you've seen Starbucks overnight, China bad. This is LVMH saying China's bad. Intraday reversal, and it's bounced off that. It's made a double bottom. So, yeah, maybe Merck does react badly on the initial numbers, but if it reverses off the lows, I'd be a buyer, particularly if this divergence is in place.
Got it. This is very helpful. Yeah, that's Merck. And last night, DHR. This is bizarre, right? I'm jumping all along because we're looking at the results first. Yeah. Danaher. Yeah. Yeah, there he is. Yeah.
Well, I mean, this one heading into the results had sort of multiple divergence here, right?
Oh, as in cell. Oh, yeah, cell divergence, right?
Yeah.
What the heck?
I mean, it closed at the lows. It closed on the 5th of September lows too.
But that's a pretty strong support, right?
Well, it is support, but there's no downside. I mean, potentially you test 255 as the 200-day. But again, if you trade lower this today, you're not going to get a divergence trading down to the 200-day. So the point here would be the best case is that you get
a bounce.
You can manufacture a trade by using the 200 days as stop level. But outside
I
of that,
yeah.
you would need time for the divergence to actually take shape.
Form. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah, then we go back to our normal priority list, right? Let me just look at it. Let's start with, let's say, Lini Novo, Astra Daiichi.
So, I mean, nothing really changed on the Liddy side, right? We're still dealing with, this pretty broad range.
Yeah.
But we could squeeze it up, even further that your initial, there's the 100-day. I mean, I'm not a big follower of the 100-day, but it is on this chart. It has reacted before. It did react at the September lows. To me, the important initial support level is the 30th September lows at 858.
858, okay, got it.
And then the 200-day at 816.
Got it. Yeah. And
So,
Novo? Yeah. And Lily is already the good one, and it looks that bearish. Oh my goodness.
Well, it's holding its ground as a relative outperformer. So Novo had the breakdown, had the rebound, failed. No divergence. This breakdown still gives you the downside measured move is 673, and obviously there is a support area at 716.
Oh my goodness, still a down move, huh? Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, you haven't seen an improvement. If anything, you've seen sellers come out where they should come out, i.e. being the old support, being resistance now.
Okay, understood. Okay, no problem. That's Novo. Astra, and then Daiichi.
So Astra bouncing off 200-day, and we're holding the lower boundary of the range here. I mean, I think
the bounce was surprising, right? Yeah.
Well, I mean, what I'd look out for is that if you do come back to retest this 11,400, 11,500 area,
you form a divergence,
it'll form a divergence. So basically, you look for a retest of the lows as a potential bottom fishing bar setup.
Oh, that's awesome. That's helpful enough as well. Of Daiichi, then three names in Japan, right? Daiichi, Otsuka.
So we had a small divergence. We've had a bounce. We're drifting back. I think the point here is that the 200-day has acted as resistance. So there is risk or is potential that we settle in a range here and we retest. It doesn't have to, but it does look like you're trying to form a new consolidation pattern. And if you did fall back towards 4,630, I suspect again you'll get a higher RSR reading and it becomes a bottom fish level again.
Okay, understood. That's awesome. That's Daiichi and 4578 actually. Let's do Otsuka. Yeah, in the middle. Yeah, above. Yeah, that's the one.
I mean, it doesn't have a new momentum high.
Doesn't have a new momentum high.
Yeah, so I'd be cautious chasing this one. I mean, if you're long, you can manage the risk long. And, if I ignored the momentum and say, well, you've had a trading range here that you're breaking out of, you could extend towards 9,851. But because my momentum's lower than it has been at the last two peaks, I'd be cautious chasing this one.
I thought the momentum confirmed it. It doesn't, right? But it's still going up in a sense, right?
It is still going up, yep.
But even though today it was very bearish action, right? Because
in Japan.
It had really good news today. I thought it opened 15% up. So we're all surprised, right? But that's why you're saying that the momentum is lower than
I mean, potentially a lot's been priced in already on that news, the fact that it's up, but it's almost up 2%. I mean, I can't say that this is a big intraday reversal where it's reversing off the highs, but it's the momentum that while it is still rising, it's still lower than what you had in August.
Got it. Okay.
And July.
No, this is very helpful already. I might have read that completely wrong. Okay, 4519. Yeah. About 5 steps to the right below.
Yeah, I mean, so this,
failed.
so there's the big intraday reversal below the 50-day, and there's every reason to think that failed breakout, you come back to 63.51.
Oh my goodness. So fierce, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's
That's still the trading range that you've had since August, right?
yeah, okay. That's but it doesn't look like the red line is helping at all, right? It just broke through it already 2 days in a row.
That's right.
Okay, understood. Okay. 4543. It's Terumo. Yeah.
So yeah, we did breakouts. We are pulling back. I mean, the key thing is that the 28.45 support area holds, and this trading range breakout still gives you 32.17 as an upside target.
But how does this momentum look like? It looks below. It looks
Well, there's no
weakish, right?
divergence, but it has started to roll back. That's right.
Oh, right. Okay, fine.
So to me, the price level at 28.38 is key. If you can hold that, you still got to give benefit of doubt to the upside.
Understood. Okay. 4901. That's the one.
So I mean, the divergence is there. You have slipped below the 50-day. So you're on this. I mean, it's not a high momentum correction, but it is correcting with support coming through the 200-day at 34.85.
Oh, okay. Got it. Okay, that's helpful. Cool. Since we're in Japan, I'll just finish up the Japan tickets. 1 minute. I'm just scrolling down. Um, 4503 and 4502. That's Takeda and Astellas.
4502 Takeda. I mean, is boring as always, still stuck in this range, so nothing really changed on that one.
Okay, 4503. This one's a bit more exciting. Debated.
We talked about that one.
Yeah, Astellas.
503. Here we go. Again, still in the range. The breakout area is at 1832.
Oh, and if it fails there, a divergence forms there, it's a short, right? Could
Yeah,
happen.
that's right. Yeah, it could happen.
I'm looking for that. Okay, 4507. So sometimes your charts are refreshed, some are not, right? Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's if there's been a sort of corporate action, it gets a bit.
Oh, the
It
corporate
needs to be
action.
it just needs to be refreshed. So essentially, it's still trapped in this range, right? And the last 2 weeks, that range has
Flattish.
got even smaller. So
Yeah.
no real takeaway, and it's a midpoint of the range. So you can't even manufacture a trade at current levels.
Okay, that's cool as well. 4523 ASI, and then oh no, 4528.
128, yeah. I mean, there was a small divergence which you've had a bounce.
And it's
but
filling
you
at
failed below the 50-day. So there's definitely a chance to retest 1892, but I suspect a retest will set up a divergence.
Oh yeah. Okay, that's helpful enough. Okay. And then 4523.
So coming back to test sort of major support here.
Yeah, is that divergence though? It
Well,
might be, right?
RSI still falling, so we need to get the bounce. Well, first of all, we need to get back to at least
Into
the
the
6th of
range.
August lows, and if not lower, and RSI at a higher level.
Yeah, this is a piece of junk, but it might get there shortly. Okay, got it. 7701.
So here you've had the divergence, you've got the double top.
This one was a great call, man. Yeah.
Yeah, so the next thing is if you do break below 44.35.
Yeah, that is to the blue line.
Yeah. Well, you get even low. The measured move is actually down to 4,000.
4,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully it gets there. Okay, it's China related. Okay. Yeah, Olympus 7733.
So this did break out, but momentum's really sort of faded. And in fact, you've made a marginal new high since that momentum breakout, and you've had lower highs.
Oh,
So the very best case would be that the stock has a time-based
Holds.
correction and keeps on holding above this 2720
Yeah.
area. That would be the best case scenario. But to me, there is risk that you can
Yeah, I'm
have a
trying to
failed
short it.
breakout
I'm
here.
trying to short it, but just don't
Well,
know.
I mean,
Yeah.
if you are shorting it here, the message would be, use a close above 28.58 as sort of a fairly tight stop, looking for
Yes.
a
Yes.
move back below 2700.
Yes. Okay. That's important as well. Okay. 6869 Sysmex. Spot. So yeah.
So divergence here.
But holding there. Yeah.
Well, again, I mean, I think there's risk that you do break below the 50-day here and fall back in the range.
Hmm. Oh, and the range is pretty wide, right? That's the
Well,
interesting.
I mean, I think the risk is essentially down to the 200-day, and then
Yeah. Then
if
we
you can't
reassess
hold
that.
that, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Got it. Oh, 7747. Yeah, that's the one.
I mean, there's very choppy around the 200-day, 50-day. Yes, it's held 2400.
Yeah.
But not a high conviction setup.
Okay. Understood. I'm done with Japan. Just a few Australian, CSL, and Samsung Bio. Yeah. Yeah, that's two of it on this page.
So, I mean, you had your divergence on the test here. You've rolled over, and you pretty much in a pretty well-defined range where 280, 284, and 310 being resistance.
So the most recent mini peak is not a divergence, right? Because it wasn't
No,
a peak.
this is didn't make a new high. The divergence was between this high and this high.
Okay, understood. Okay, yeah. And so sorry, what's your conclusion on this one?
Trading range, basically, bottom of the range is 284, top of the range is 310.
Okay, got it. Okay, Samsung Bio. Yeah, bottom left. That's the one. In the tiles, the bottom left.
Oh, bottom. Sorry, I just sold
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, I had a few questions on this, but there's a clear divergence here. 1.1 millions, does look
Oh,
like
yes.
resistance. So if anything, this should stay range bound below 1.1 million.
Yeah, and he had great news, and it couldn't break out, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Okay, that's very helpful as well. Okay, that's then we're good with Japan. I'm just gonna go to Europe. NOVN. Oh, sorry. I forgot. Lonza first. Lonza. LN. Yeah, two taps to the right of the card. Yeah.
So I mean, you still have your high momentum peak here. You have stabilized around the 50-day. I mean, with this momentum confirming the high, coming back to stabilize here, the base case is that you should still have a run towards
At
that 600 area. Yeah.
But can it break out? It probably will form a divergence, right?
I would suspect that, because you've had such a long period, that running up to here would probably set up a divergence.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think instead of second guessing it, I'd be give benefit of doubt if you're long, or add, even around here for a move to 600, and you could get a fresh momentum move.
Yeah, that's true. But there are no results. That's why. Okay.
Right.
Cool. No, sorry, SRT3. Sorry, SRT3 right beside it. Right to the right, I think. Yeah.
It's quite messy.
Yes. So confusing, this one. Yeah.
I mean, it's probably
You're
the only
getting
thing The only thing I could say, my bias would be you did break out here. Yes, you have pulled back, but this is the highest momentum reading, since you've been in this trading range, right?
Yes.
So there was an inclination that, there was a change or something new here that the market's trying to price in. The pullback's been a bit lower, but the way that I think about it, the 50-day, if you're going to hold this breakout, you shouldn't move below the midpoint of the range, which neatly
Yes.
ties up with the 50-day, right?
Oh,
So we're
right.
taking, 3%, let's say, downside risk. The breakout
Would be the 337, right? Yeah.
Well, that's the full base here. Like if I'm more conservative and I just take the shorter term range, it's 306.
That's exactly
But
at the, yeah.
yep. But still at that point, the risk reward is in favor of being a buyer here, using 242 as your risk management level
Okay.
and 306 as a minimum upside target.
Okay, that's helpful enough. Yep. Then NOVN. Yeah, it's in the middle of the tabs. Yeah, that's to the right. To the right. Yeah. Yeah. It's this group here.
I mean, very narrow range, but failed breakout, likely to come back and test 95.
Oh, that's good. Then one tab to the right, SANFP. This one, I've been trying to short it, but now I'm hoping it clean up the.
I mean, it's interesting because
Yeah,
obviously
it's
the
bullish,
100
right?
to 99 area was bullish. Yesterday's move gap down and the RSI is still falling.
Yes, you can't believe what the reason is. They finally sold their consumer business and the price came in rubbish or below
All right.
expectation. Yeah. So it's a catalyst, but I just don't know how to read that, right? It's negative, right? Yeah.
On a chart wise, this is negative. The fact that you couldn't hold the breakout point
Yeah,
as
and
well
it
as,
should have been positive even,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it sounds like it should have been positive news that they're
Yeah,
getting more
yeah,
focused, right?
yeah. So that's
So
why it's
good
probably a
news,
short.
bad price action is not a good result, not a good combination.
That's good to know. That's good to know. Okay, SAN is there. And then of course right beside it, MRK on the right, the tabs. Yeah.
Well, you had the mini divergence, you've had a bounce. This probably should still test the upper boundary at 171 to 174.
Before forming the divergence again, right? Yeah.
The potential of that, yep.
Yeah, okay, that's Merck. ROG. This one is to the left. Yeah, 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 yeah. That's what.
I mean, had the divergence at the double top, this base played out. The lower trading range is still in play. You tested the 50-day, you tested the highs in September. You did hesitate. I mean, this action here does suggest there was buyers even on the weakness.
This is
But
crazy. Yeah.
you do have a lower trading range, basically.
But is this short? Yes, you can short it with the
I think so.
manufacturer trade, right? Yeah.
Well, you can. You've got quite a bit of sort of clear resistance here.
Yeah. Actually, today's the results.
Yeah.
I might be lucky. Yeah. Okay, that's helpful. There's nothing bullish about it either, right?
No.
Yeah. Okay, SHL. Oh, sorry, my bad. I forgot. Zealand, ZEAL.
Well, let's just do SHL first, and then I'll get to Zealand.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I
Okay.
mean, very narrow range here, right?
Yeah.
So nothing of note. I mean, if you did break below the 50-day, which has been holding the last three attempts, you could trade down to 47.83. But, holding the 50-day, I'd probably give benefit of doubt to try and
The
trade
bounce,
to the top of the top of the range.
which
And I guess
is
this is a China
87,
trade too.
which is 57, right?
57, yeah.
Okay, fine. ALC. No, don't worry. I'll leave
What?
Zealand for the end. I'll just cover
Okay.
all the medtech first. ALC. I saw it left. Yeah, yeah, in the middle. In the middle. Yeah, that's the one.
So, we're still in the
Divergence.
range. We've
Yeah.
backed off. Yeah, you did have a divergence. Yeah, you've rolled back.
Yeah, but very minor.
Yeah, I mean, probably, support here is the mid-level, right? Which is this
79.
79.80 area.
Yeah. This thing is so resilient. It's bizarre. Okay. STMN. Just on the right of it. Yeah.
It's a very broad range that you've seen here and basically sitting on both 50-day, 200-day. So yeah, you can manufacture a trade within the range, but again, not high conviction.
Okay. Then SOON. This one is the biggest outperformer for no reason. Yeah, you just touched it on the right. Taps right. Yeah, right. Right.
Keep on going. There
Yeah,
we
yeah,
go.
that's the one.
So small divergence now developing.
Ah, this is the trickiest one.
The divergence is starting to form, and then you've got resistance at 337, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So
But it doesn't need to get there, right?
it
It's
doesn't
already
need to get
forming.
there. It's already
Yeah,
forming. It's a take profit, and if it did trade
signal.
up into 337, it still take profit, assuming that momentum continues to lag.
Okay. Then FME and AFX. Then we're good. FME is to the left. Uh, left, left, left. Yeah. Yeah, about here. Left. Yeah, that's the one. And the AFX is two rights, two taps to the right.
Yeah, I mean that had that small divergence, got to the 200-day, and then it's rallied again.
Hmm.
It's interesting that the RSI is still lagging the RSI high that you made in September. So the point is you're towards the upper boundary of the range.
Could be a short. Yeah.
This is still sort of a take profit or reduce area.
That's awesome. Good. AFX. Yeah, that's the one.
So it has pulled back. I mean, again, just these China names obviously have pulled back, but in the majority, like the China market has made higher lows, right?
So I should leave it alone, right? Or
Well,
look to go long after the bad news is out. Yeah.
yeah. Or again, like LVMH, you know, bad news, good price action, you buy
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Okay.
Because
That's
you do
sound
have
good.
the multiple divergence here, right? So you've got the slowing downside. You do have the first higher low now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, there's every potential that this thing can trade back to the 200 at 84.60.
Wow. It's crazy. Okay. Okay, that's uh I'm just looking. Oh yeah, Zealand.
You want to do, yeah.
Zeal and BAYN.
So, I mean, we have respected the old highs, the March 2023 highs, and it's stabilized here. I mean, how this stock's traded, trading range, breakout, trading range. So it is trying to hold this higher range for now. But your first sort of test or where you could get a breakout is a move above the 50-day,
All right.
which is at 851.
It's hard to do so with Novo bet. Okay.
Yeah.
BAYN is just to the left of it. Just the tap to the left. This one I have not done for a long time, but was worst performing in the month.
I mean, it's interesting because it's basically towards the bottom end of the range.
Yeah.
And the RSI is higher. So remember, you had your big divergence here,
Oh,
and these retests of the lows, the RSI is still at a higher level. So the stock's trying to base out is the message.
but did the last plunge at the start of the month, was there anything to signal that? Not really, right? The momentum was
This
higher.
year, this
Yeah.
no, so there wasn't any real warning sign
So the market
on
was
that.
wrong on this. Okay. I have to figure out what happened. This is fine. Okay.
Okay.
Then we're good. Let's move to the US. ABBV and J&J and Pfizer.
So it's all about 181 remaining supports and maintaining the upside of 206.
Mm. But it's been selling off, right? The momentum's
Well,
pretty weak for this.
it has been, but again, the 182 or 181 is the big support zone. As long as you hold above that,
Yeah, you'll go to
the
206.
breakout is 206 still the ultimate target there.
Yeah, okay, fine. J&J.
It's on this tab. If it's obviously the broader trading range, you did have the divergence pullback, try to bounce up within this broader trading range. It does look like the stock's topping out or capping out around the top end of that range. The breakdown area would be a move below 158.
Okay, I see. That's the J&J. Okay. PFE.
This is all about, 200-day holding as well as the lower boundary of this range. And as long as that holds, you have this momentum breakout that still gives you essentially 34 to 35 as an upside target.
That's bizarre. Okay, the stock's been so weak with an activist. That's why. Okay, Bristol, BMY. I don't see it as well. Where is it? Oh, you found it.
So again, this peak momentum was slower, but that was the expectation. There is still potential because you're holding above
Yeah.
the $51 area, you're holding above the 50-day, that you still have a push towards 56. But again,
Yes.
the message here would be that that's you're taking profits into 56.
Yeah, it's a grind, right? Because yeah, okay, I get that. Okay. VRTX. Not Viking. VRTX, Vertex.
Uh,
Yeah. Viking can do it later. Yeah. Oh no, how about this, right? Oh, okay. Found it.
you had the divergence. I mean, this was a bit sort of irregular that you did try to break out of the downtrend. You've obviously
Failed.
failed that
Yeah.
move. So typically failed breakouts, you come back to 448.
Okay, that's helpful. Vertex. Gilead, GILD.
It's trying to break out, but momentum's not confirming it. So I'd be fading that move.
Wow, that's finally a tradable idea. Okay, that's great. Uh, BIIB. It's not here. Yeah. Oh yeah.
So 28.6. There's a marginal divergence here, right?
Yeah. And that's a small bounce in response, right?
So now obviously two things. You have this potential for a double bottom here.
Yes.
Breakout area in the 50-day basically coincide
Mm,
at this 194, 196 area. But yeah, this is sort of cover short
yeah.
and basically breaking above 196.
Mm,
You can mean revert to the 200-day basically.
okay. Is NBIX here? Or is in a different tab? NBIX. NBIX and actually Viking. I think it's a previous tab.
No Vikings here.
Yeah. Oh, Viking is far right. Yeah.
So MBIX, small divergence here. You've had the bounce. This could come back, but the point is that this is cover short, bottom fishing buy. The stock's trying to base out now.
And you had a relative to MSCI below, right? What's that about? Yeah.
It's just relative to the world index.
Oh, okay.
So obviously has been underperforming and
Yeah.
now
Yeah.
outperforming.
Does the momentum say anything? Yeah, there's a mini divergence,
Well,
right?
you had a
The current
divergence.
one. Yeah.
You've had
The
the bounce
bounce.
already, right? So I think for this duration, meaning that was essentially
Yes.
1 week of trade, that
Yes.
bounce has worked off that divergence. So you could come back, make another divergence.
Before
I,
is
I,
really.
I would say that this is trying to base out now.
Yeah.
In that process, yes, it could retest 111.
Okay, that's very helpful indeed. Okay. VKTX.
Yeah, so it's still that same range, but yesterday's close wasn't great. In that you did
Yeah.
close below the 50-day.
What the heck was that? Yeah.
So
Okay.
you could, while it's still in the range,
Mm.
and it is a
Go
broad
to
range, I mean,
57.
you could see 57 tested.
Okay, that's helpful. I'm hoping I get a chance to buy it. Okay, then we go to MedTech is ISRG.
I mean, this is interesting, very narrow range.
Yeah, it looks like a divergence as well, right? Oh, by
It
its
did,
breakout. Yeah.
well, it did break out, but you can see the RSI there is lower than the peak in August, and it's lower than the peak in July, right?
Oh,
So a bit questionable as far as, the small range. How much does that give you as far as upside
yeah,
potential?
almost met. Yeah.
532. So again, one couldn't chase it here.
Mm.
And if you have been long patient through this range, I'd take some profits.
Yeah. Okay. SYK. Yeah. That's the SYK and BSX.
So SYK essentially, didn't quite retest the highs, but got towards that and has rolled over.
Ah,
So at the very least, you getting a trading range develop here, but clearly the hesitation ahead of 374,
but it doesn't form
keeps
a
it in that
divergence,
range.
right? It can't form a
Didn't,
divergence unless it reaches there, right? Close
yeah,
there.
but
Yeah.
I guess the point is you can manufacture a
Manufacture a
trade
trade. Yeah.
above using, 375, 374 as a stop level or reassess.
Okay, got it. Uh, BSX and then ABT. The BSX is just to the right of it. Yeah.
Wow. Pretty consistent trend this. For this phase here, RSI has still confirmed the highs.
Mm.
And there's no upside targets. So essentially, I'd just be using the 50-day as a trailing stop level to
Yeah.
trade with that trend.
So there's no signal at all. Okay,
No,
solid
no,
stop.
no new
Okay.
signal there.
Yeah. BDX and ABT. No, BDX is ABT is in the middle of the tab. Yeah, to the right. Yeah, to the right. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. You just passed it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, is it a divergence or
Yeah, it is.
yes?
So basically, you've got that range of resistance. You've got a marginal divergence there
Mm.
that, this should test the 50-day, if not the October lows, and stay range bound.
Ah, that's awesome. Great, great. But does it look like you can break that 120? Where's the stop loss? I'm just trying to understand if I short it. Yeah.
It's a 120 year,
Yeah,
mid
120,
above
right?
120. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, okay, got it. BDX about 5 taps to the left. Yeah, left. Yeah, that's the one.
So another one, very, very narrow range, but failed again below 247.
Hmm. Okay. And this is more like a short, right? Because it's at the high end of its
Well,
range
I guess
anyway.
it's a funding short, but I guess I say a funding short, but if you look at what the market's done, this is almost a funding long that it just stays range bound.
Okay, got it. Okay. MDT. MDT, where is it? Oh yeah, there it is. And the EW right beside it.
TI's got a nice divergence, try to break out. Momentum hasn't confirmed it.
Oh, finally.
So this should fall back into this trading range.
Ah, I'm so
And
glad. Jump.
obviously the 50-day, the first support area, but bottom of the range is at 88.
Awesome. Okay. EW right just to the right of it. Just the right tab. And then the next one is BAX. I don't see on this tab. Yeah, let's go.
You can settling in a range, but no high conviction, but hesitating ahead of 71 resistance.
Mhm. But it may form a divergence, may not, right?
Well,
Oh, no,
because
it's
it's
not.
such a tight range, it's
Yeah,
more looking for a breakthrough 71 with momentum confirming it to suggest you can trade up to 200.
I see. So that's why the results are crucial for this name, right?
Yeah.
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 Okay. DXCM, sorry. I'm just going to skip BAX. DXCM. Dexcom. Oh, yeah. It's at the front. Left. Yeah, that's the one.
So this is, do I have to refresh this or is this an actual reaction here?
No, this is actual reaction. So
40,
results
okay,
driven.
40%. Wow.
Yeah. For was 60 billion stock.
Geez. It's painful.
Oh,
mean,
it's
there's
been
obviously,
repairing.
yeah,
Yeah.
there's no divergence on this.
Oh, because it didn't make a new low, right?
It didn't make a new low.
Yeah.
I mean, potentially you're getting some kind of range, or as you say, I mean, a good way to think about it is, repairing with this sideways action here.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay. Maybe the question is, well, once the result come out and it was good, at what level do you chase it to?
Well, I mean, I think clearly this is the
7-7.
break
Yeah.
77, call it 78, essentially is the breakout area.
Ah, okay, okay. And right now, why is the momentum is good, right? Yeah.
Yeah, momentum's been rising with this last leg higher from the October lows or late September lows.
Got it. Okay. I'm looking for GEHC. This is I forgot I wanted to short this junk. Is it anywhere here? No, yeah. Hynix is not mine.
GEHC.
Yeah.
And didn't
The
really
momentum
set up a,
confirm it, huh?
yeah,
Yeah.
didn't set up a divergence. I mean, obviously, well, you didn't have the divergence. You clearly respected or failed at the March highs as resistance, right?
But was there a divergence? Because it's not a new high, right? Oh, it
There's
was. It was a
so if you
near-term
look,
high.
well, I mean, this move down to the lows
Yeah.
reset the RSI. So since the lows that you made in June,
Yes.
it's been all momentum confirmation. The interesting thing is the 50-day, that's an intraday reversal of the lows at the 50-day. So if I was
Mm.
doing anything on this, I'd be using that close below the 50-day as a stop level for at least a test of the recent highs, if
Oh,
not
you think
breakout.
it's going to test a recent high? So
Well,
it's not
look,
really a short, right? Yeah.
I,
Benefit
to,
of
to
doubt to
me,
the, yeah.
to me, 50-day, you can get a bounce. If you get a bounce and you fail then at 94.50 again,
Got
you
it.
probably set up a divergence. But right here, because of this intraday move, I'd
Yeah.
probably wait
Benefit of
for
doubt.
a bounce back to 94 and then reassess for a short.
Yes. Okay. Can we just look at TMO and IQV? Then we got everything covered. Yeah.
But MO. So this one looks like, I know the 200-day is expected to act as support, but you've had multiple divergences here.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, then
You've
there are
broken
breaches,
or you
right?
closed below it. So yes, 200-day could act as support, but if I look at the measured move, your
553,
downside here
right?
is 553 here.
What a joke. Okay. IQV.
I mean, I know you did, looks like an intraday reversal,
Hmm.
suggests that you found some buying, but the risk below the 50-day is still to the downside. So you obviously had your divergences
Uh,
in that range. Final point is that range still has that measured
Actually, this is my interest rate short.
downside target of 210.
Oh, that's good to know. But what's the risk on the upside?
50-day,
What's to the 50-day?
23861. Yeah.
Okay, got it. Okay, sorry. One last name, right? INSM is a new ticker. INSM. 42 billion US funny. Yeah.
A fine of 42 billion, did you say?
Yes, and I've never looked at this before. I'm just trying to get it all covered now. Oh, and it just became 42 billion then.
Yeah.
Shit, this crazy bugger.
I mean, it had multiple divergences into the fine, I guess.
Oh, as in the sell off, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know where.
Hmm.
I mean, this was after market, the news.
Oh, no, no, there's no news. I don't even know what happened there.
All right.
Yeah, but it just showed up as a medtech 42 billion. That was never on our
All right.
radar. Yeah. Oh, it's more negative then. Yeah.
Well, I mean, so it's a few things is that you've had the divergence and
Fell off a bit. Yeah.
it's been, it looks like it's got a time-based correction rather than, breaking support.
Yeah.
And the 200-day is playing
Like
catch up
Zealand.
into that. Yeah.
Yeah. And so there's no signal, pretty sure, right? Okay.
I mean, so for me, a break
Mhm.
above 77.40 would be a new momentum signal. But where
Ah,
it sits right now, you can put it on the radar, but it hasn't broken out or down at this
okay.
stage, and it's working off the slowing upside momentum with a trading range.
Great. Thank you so much, Lawrence. This is
No
really
problem.
helpful, right?
Okay.
Thank you. You have a good day.
Yeah,
Thank
well,
you.
okay, you
Bye-bye.
too. Bye.
Mm.